What we're going to have a go at today is we're going to have a go at sketching a two-point perspective view of the cafe that you've been designing recently. Hopefully at some point in S1 you did some one-point perspective. So one-point perspective is where all of the lines converge on one vanishing point. In two-point perspective we have two vanishing points. We have one at one end of the horizon line and one at the other end of the horizon line. Now, the way that I would do this is I would start by sketching the leading edge of the building. The top of that leading edge of the building can very lightly, just now, go down to that bottom edge of the vanishing point on the left, and this one, the vanishing point on the left as well. Bottom of that line also to the vanishing point on the right, and the top of that line also to the vanishing point on the right. So what we should have is we should have almost like a sort of a kite shape drawn on the paper. Looks like a kite if you turn it that way. This is the kind of outline shape of the building. I can then decide how far the building is going to come towards this vanishing point on the left. So I'm going to make a decision on that point there. This is just an estimation. The front edge of my cafe building, I'm going to have it coming all the way along to here. So you'll notice that the leading edge of my cafe building, this one here, is slightly off to one side. That is absolutely fine. It's just the viewpoint of where I am standing in relation to my building. As I start to darken in the building up to the edge of that wall there, and also as I darken in this bit of the building up to that edge there, and again over here, hopefully you'll start to see what looks like an actual building. The lines in the middle, the horizon line, I can then lighten that off because the building is not see-through, so that horizon line is no longer needed. The horizon line can, however, be darkened in behind the building. Okay, now at that point it just looks like a block, so we need to now populate this with windows and doors. So I am going to start with estimating my door as being up and down here. It is estimated, so trying to keep the lines as vertical as I can. The top of the door, however, will travel towards the vanishing point on the right. Now I've just drawn that bit of line there, but I could have drawn all of the line in. The windows, the bottom of the windows I'm going to have heading towards the vanishing point on the right, and I'm going to have the top of the windows also travelling towards the vanishing point on the right. At that stage there, I can then slice up the rest of the wall in terms of how many windows I've got. Now, the first window, I've made a decision, it's going to be that wide. The next window, the little gap, the next window, I want it to appear slightly smaller. So this window should appear slightly narrower than this one, because as things disappear into the distance, they do of course appear to be smaller. Similar to that third window. Just darkening the bottom of these so it makes it a bit more obvious where the windows are. So there's three windows. I might actually just be able to squeeze in a fourth window in there, and it now looks like a box with a door and a couple of windows. At that stage there, I can then start to further populate this: window frames, door handles, things like that. But there are only three types of lines that I'm allowed to draw. I'm allowed to draw lines that are vertical, going straight up and down my page. I'm allowed to draw lines that are going to the vanishing point on the right hand side of the page. And if I was working on this wall over here, I could have lines that travel to the vanishing point on the left. I'll go on and add more details to this, and I will post a photograph of this alongside my video. So here's a nearly complete solution. You can see that I've added window frames, door frames, blinds onto my windows. Everything going on the left hand side of the building is converging on the left hand vanishing point. Everything on the right hand side, including the bits of the lettering, are all converging on the right hand vanishing point. Same is true of the slabs. Okay, so you could go on and complete this circuit, complete this sketch, and perhaps add a little bit of colour to the window frames and door frames and title, etc.